What if you could build a complex mobile app just by ordering it like a pizza? No code, no developers, just pure, powerful artificial intelligence doing all the work for you. That was the promise of Builder.ai, a London-based startup that skyrocketed to a $1.5 billion valuation. They raised over $450 million from some of the biggest names in tech and finance, including Microsoft and Qatar's sovereign wealth fund. Their charismatic founder, Sachin Dev Dugal, who called himself the Chief Wizard, claimed his AI, named Natasha, could build 80% of any app within a few hours. But there was a secret behind the magic, a very human secret. The AI was a phantom. The real work was being done by an army of over 700 human engineers, many outsourced in India and Ukraine, working around the clock to keep the illusion alive. This is the story of one of the biggest cases of AI washing yet. It's a story of faked revenues, investor FOMO, and a house of cards that collapsed from a billion-dollar valuation to zero in a matter of months. Founded in 2016, Builder.ai was the brainchild of Sachin Dev Dugal. Dugal was a master marketer. He didn't just sell a product, he sold a dream. He told the world that his company had cracked the code to automated software development. Their pitch was simple and brilliant. Customers would interact with an AI chatbot named Natasha, pick from a list of pre-coded features, like Lego blocks, and the AI would assemble their app. It was supposed to be fast, cheap, and effortless. Investors were captivated. In late 2018, Builder.ai secured a $29.5 million Series A, one of the largest in Europe at the time. By March 2022, they had raised a $100 million Series C and were officially a unicorn, valued at over $1 billion. Microsoft, terrified of missing out on the next big thing in AI, jumped on board. The Qatar Investment Authority followed. The money poured in. But even as the valuation soared, cracks were beginning to show. As early as 2019, a Wall Street Journal report raised questions, suggesting that most of the coding was being done by humans, not AI. But in the frenzy of the AI gold rush, the warning was largely ignored. Inside the company, the reality was far from the marketing pitch. Former employees described a high-pressure environment where the technology was mostly smoke and mirrors. Customers who expected an app in a month were told to wait for 6 or even 9. The so-called AI, Natasha, was little more than a front-end interface. The real work was done by a massive team of human engineers. The pre-coded Lego blocks were often built from scratch for each new client. The promise of automation was a carefully constructed illusion. One of the biggest red flags? The company had no chief financial officer, or CFO, for nearly 2 years, from 2023 onwards. In a company handling hundreds of millions of dollars, the absence of a CFO is a siren call of financial chaos. By late 2024, the pressure was mounting. After securing an emergency loan, CEO Sachin Dugal went back to the board and asked for more cash. This time, the board got suspicious. They demanded a new round of due diligence. The results were catastrophic. The company had told its lenders it projected $220 million in sales for 2024. The real number, uncovered by auditors, was only $55 million. It got worse. The previously reported sales for 2023 weren't $180 million. They were only $45 million. That's a 300% inflation of their actual revenue. How did they do it? An internal investigation by a law firm found evidence of a concerted effort to inflate revenue figures. The probe focused on a network of resellers, particularly in the Middle East, with concerns that many of them were not genuine. In February 2025, the board had seen enough. Sachin Dev Dugal, the chief wizard, was pushed out. Manpreet Ratia, an executive from one of their investors, was brought in to clean up the mess. But it was too late. The lenders, led by Viola Credit, were furious. They had been lied to. In May 2025, they declared a default and seized the $37 million remaining in Builder.ai's bank accounts. Without cash, the company was finished. On May 20, 2025, Builder.ai, the billion-dollar AI darling, officially began insolvency proceedings. The company that had promised to revolutionize software development was dead. It was the biggest collapse of an AI startup since the ChatGPT-fueled boom began, a stark warning of the dangers of AI washing. So, what can we learn from the spectacular implosion of Builder.ai? 1. Valuation is not revenue. Builder.ai had a massive valuation, but its real revenue was a fraction of what it claimed. The 300% inflation was a deliberate deception. Lesson 1. Always question the numbers. A flashy valuation means nothing without real, verified sales. 2. Beware the man behind the curtain. Builder.ai is a classic case of a Wizard of Oz. They sold the magic of AI but hid the hundreds of humans doing the work. Lesson 2. If a technology sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Ask how it really works. 3. Financial red flags don't lie. No CFO for 2 years. A CEO asking for more cash right after an emergency loan. These are not small mistakes, they are massive red flags. Lesson 3. The boring stuff matters. Strong financial leadership and transparent accounting are the bedrock of any real business. Builder.ai's collapse is a cautionary tale for the age of AI. It shows how the fear of missing out, or FOMO, can lead even the smartest investors like Microsoft to ignore obvious warning signs. It proves that a great story can only take you so far. Eventually, reality catches up. And in the world of business, reality is the only thing that counts.